It's the Joel Shit Show, featuring Joel Shit. Hi, and welcome to the Joel Shit Show. I'm your host, Joel Shit. So I thought I was saving myself time because I turned the TV off, because then I wouldn't be distracted by it while I was getting ready to check out. But I need the TV to be on so I can do the in-room checkout. So now I have to turn the TV back on. So I really don't think that worked. So today is Christmas Day, and you know what that means? That's right. Tomorrow's Boxing Day. Let's not forget those boxes who were flattened and recycled for our sins. Yesterday was my last full day here in Reno, Nevada, live on location here at the Sands Regency Room 612. And I had one set of coupons left to use. It wasn't really a coupon, it was just something I got in the mail for the Atlantis. So I go to the Atlantis, and I said, okay, they got 10-7 double bonus and dollars at the bar. By the way, the best bar top play probably anywhere in the world is at the Atlantis. 10-7 double bonus with the Progressive, which was like 4,200, so what? And so then you can drink all you want, you can play all you want, and yesterday happened to be a 3-times points day, which is odd because you're saying the Atlantis, but they don't tell you shit about your points. Well, they do now. They've done like Harris circa 1998, and they've set up these kiosks where you swipe your card and it tells you how many points you have, how many comps you have. It's the opposite of what they've been doing for as long as I've been going there, where everything was shrouded in secrecy. And you had no idea what you had, and so you'd have to go play for a while, and then go to the slot club and meekly ask, can I eat? You don't have to do that now. So I ran my $100 through, and I got about 20 minutes of action out of it, so that's probably, I don't know, 1,500 coin in. So that's something, and for the Atlantis, that's good enough for the level that I'm at. I'm really not a very high level there at all anymore, because I don't play there that much, but, you know, they send me $15 every couple of months to play there, and casino rate and some free rooms. It actually would have only cost me $10 more to spend this week in Atlantis than it would have been at Sands Regency, but Sands Regency sent me the postcard first, and that's how I make my decisions. So you screwed up, Atlantis. You should have known when I was going to Vegas, and then that way that's when I would determine where I was going to stay. So I did the double bonus, and I went to the kiosk and swiped my card, and it said I had $9 in comps. And I said, oh, well, that's pretty exciting. I can get $9 off of $16 all-you-can-eat sushi lunch. That's perfect. Well, I'm still going to play poker, and then I'm going to go have lunch and come back and go to work. Yesterday, for Yahoo, I had to work from 3 to 9, not from 6 to 9. Well, 6 is over here. And so I go to the poker room. Best poker room in Vegas, not for making money, but for professional dealers and funny people. And if I lived here, I would probably play at the Atlantis every day. Not because I would make more money there. I probably wouldn't make any money at all. The Atlantis poker room is a little tough, but the atmosphere is great. It's relaxing. There's 20 TVs everywhere, even if they're all showing the same thing, but at 11 a.m. on Christmas Eve, there's really not that much on TVs. I don't really fault the Atlantis for that. But there's almost always a 3-6 game. If you're seated and playing at 9:30, there's a drawing. If you're seated at 10:30 and playing, there's a drawing at 10:15 and 11:15 respectively, as long as you're not in the tournament, which brings up an interesting point. Nothing beats making your own segues. So I get there around 10, and they're starting up the 3-6 game. And I said, all right, I'll play the 3-6 game. And they said, do you want to be in the tournament? And I said, tell me about the tournament. And he goes, well, the tournament is $40. Well, it's 35 plus, I think, 5 for the dealer pool. And you get all these chips, but then you're not eligible for the drawing. I said, well, tell me about the drawing, because at the time I didn't know about it yet. Because, see, this happened yesterday. Right now when I'm talking about it, this is after what happened yesterday. And I said, and so he said to me, okay, well, this is the thing. It's only for cash games. And for every table, for every cash game going, we draw one number, one ticket, and that person gets $50. And I said, so if I play in the cash game with the other people in the cash game who are not in the tournament, which is what everyone wants to do, then there's going to be a drawing for 2 tickets because there's a 1-2 no limit table and mine 3-6 table. And he goes, that is correct. And I said, but there's only going to be like 15 people playing because the tournament will have started at 11:15. And he goes, that's correct. And I said, well, I would rather play in the cash game and have a chance to win the drawing. And he said, okay. So he gave me back my buy-in for the tournament because I had bought in for the tournament earlier. I didn't tell you that. and I bought into the 3-6 game. And so I'm sitting there playing the 3-6 game, and 11:15 rolls around, and they go to do the drawing, and yeah, there's about 15 people there. So the cocktail server comes in, and you always have the cocktail server pick the tickets, because one thing, she's supposed to be impartial, and another thing, are you going to argue with the cocktail server over 50 bucks? I don't think so. Poker room, you can argue all you want. Poker room is like the baseball of gambling. You know, in baseball, you can come out and yell at the umpire and say all these different things, but, you know, and then like blackjack, you try to complain to the pit boss, right? And he comes over and he goes, well, you know, that's just the way it is. You know, it's like football. You don't see people arguing in football that much. But in baseball, you kick the dirt. Poker room is like baseball. You kick the dirt all the time. So, draws 2 numbers. First number wins, $50. And the numbers I picked, the last 2 digits were 89 and 90, if you can believe that. 90 actually was ineligible because 90 decided to play in the tournament. So I was 92, the guy on my left was 91, and he goes, oh, I like the way this is looking. I said, I know what you mean. So remember, the guy in 90 did not win because he decided to play the tournament and forego the drawing. So he's in the tournament right now. So they pick another number, and they pick 92, which is me. So instead of the person winning, he did not win because he went into the tournament, and then instead, I won because I didn't play in the tournament and decided to play in the cash game. So it was one of these. And so I won 50 bucks for that, which was good because I was not playing very well yesterday. The very first hand I've dealt pocket queens, flop a set, turn a boat, but it's only 5 people at the table because the game just started and it didn't seem right to just run over people. So I check on the flop, I bet on the turn, and then I bet on the river, but they fold on the river. I missed a bet, at least one. And I also, because I was in the big blind with the pocket queens, I didn't raise with them before the flop, so I probably missed a bet there too. And if I had made those bets before the flop and on the flop, the pot would have been larger, and people would have been more likely to stay in the pot when I bet on the turn and the river. So I cost myself probably 3 or 4 bets there. I had a hand where I had aces, someone else had 3s, he flopped a set. I had a hand where I had queen 8 and someone else had queen 10. It was in the big blind. I wouldn't play queen 8 otherwise. I flopped trips, he flopped a boat because it was queen 10. But on the other side, I had aces, the guy on my left had kings. We raised everyone out of the pot, and heads up, you can raise all you want. So there were about 6 raises before the flop, and there was a bet on the flop, turn, and river. And then as it made it, there was an ace on the river, so he was pissed because he thought I had ace king, but no, I had aces. So then he goes, wow, this isn't like online. So that was a nice pot. So I had a lot of really good pots and a lot of really bad pots. So, you know, at the end of the day, I had $124, and I started with $120. Now remember, I won $50 on that drawing, so really I lost 46 playing, but I was a +4 when you throw in the $50 I won in the drawing. But there was one other hand that was memorable. I had queen jack, and I flopped top pair. And then I had 3 of a kind, spiked another jack on the turn. And then I got the last jack, the case jack on the river. I bet on the flop, I bet on the turn, I bet on the river. On the river, they folded. But I showed my queen jack, and I won the hand. And because I had 4 of a kind, I got to spin the wheel. I didn't tell you about the wheel. Atlanta's Poker Room has a wheel now, and I love wheels. How do you get the wheel, I asked. You have to get 4 of a kind, but you only need 1 card. You can have the kicker. You don't have to have a pocket pair. I said, okay. Were there any other bonuses? Yes. 4 of a kind with the pocket pair is 50. Straight flush is 150. Even the royal flush is 400. But then you get the wheel spin. But if you have a 4 of a kind with the kicker, like I did, queen jack, because there was no king or ace on the board, then remember I had top pair on the flop, but the jack that I turned in the river, I couldn't have used a kicker on the board. So I got to spin the wheel, the only wheel. Every other one is a free buffet, and then the rest are like non-negotiable chips or cash or whatever. The big one's $100 cash. So I spin the wheel I didn't want to spin it too hard because, you know, it's like the Price is Right when they spin the wheel too much, right? So it didn't go all the way around. Oops. So he said, yeah, one more chance. It has to go around twice. So I spun it really hard. It went around like 6 times. And I got a free lunch buffet, which actually wasn't too bad because I needed to eat anyway. In fact, that's the last time I've eaten. It's been about 18 hours. I'm still not hungry. But I won a free buffet at $4 in the poker room at the Atlantis, so minus $96 for my trip to Atlantis. And for my entire trip to Reno, I won $386, and that's fine because because, you know, I don't really need to make the money now. Let's save the winning trips for when I'm out of work or when I'm poor or something else. So it's been a good trip, and I might be over 10 minutes, in which case no one's watching this. So we'll see what happens. It's all the time we average day business on the web at joelshitshow.com. Email joel@joelshitshow.com.